front page. NDC brutalized MPP in 2016, but now enjoying free demonstration in Tamale. That's the president saying that NDC has liberty to boycott 2020 vote. Amwabin, could grabbed and hauled before court, and MPA ostracizes petroleum sector mafia. Biara dictated my statement. That's Bafu Boni saying that, and Bafu Boni used to be at the NCA National Communications Authority, and he's one of the 5 people standing trial in respect of the procurement of some listening devices by that institution.
On the front page of the Today newspaper, that story, Malik, 34 perish in Cape Coast Takrady accident. Who caused Tor MD's resignation? That story has been quite in the news quite a lot in the past 2 days as well.
The Herald, security minister falls victim to certified blackmailer. Government puts Amwabin and Beige Boss on trial. Trouble looms over Tano offin Ninahin bauxite deal. Chiefs and people signal resistance. Mahama launches fundraising platforms for NDC 2020 campaign. Those are the stories on the front page of the Herald.
The Daily Heritage, Supreme Court strikes on Woyomel lawyer, slaps him with 5,000 Ghana cedis cost over repeated application for review. Church elder fingered in car fraud. I'm clean. Charged ex-UT boss tells court and is granted. The Daily Heritage is saying 110 million Ghana cedi bill, but the Ghanaian Times is saying 10 million Ghana cedi bill. Jospon generates energy from fecal matter, and Association International School sets record straight.
The Finder outlook is very positive. That's President touting performance at the government's results fair. Northern Ghana is key to our business, as CBG MD saying, but we are launching the MPA's Digital Product Tracking Command Center. It's also on the front page of the Finder newspaper.
The Ghanaian Times is reporting will put persons responsible for banking crisis before court soon. That story about the owners of 2 collapsed banks before court, also on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. Trader convicted of causing unlawful damage to property. Chinese fishing trawler fails to pay $1 million fine that was imposed for illegal fishing in Ghanaian waters. And that story about 34 people dying yesterday. On the back page of the Ghanaian Times, Adriana Ashgold winning streak under threat, and of course we're all looking forward to whether CK Akono will be confirmed as the Black Stars.
Anyway, that story of the 2 former bosses of 2 banks having been put before court is dominating the front pages of all the newspapers. It's on the front page of the Daily Guide as well. The 34 perishing in that accident is also here. Okumkom is dead. That's Akwesi Ajiman, who used to be KMA boss, very famous one at that. He's passed. Those are the major stories on the front page of the Daily Guide.
Malik, the back page there says Akono has been appointed Black Stars coach.
Yes, that's what it says. And it was trending on social media yesterday, particularly Twitter and Facebook. And in fact, in the evening, I heard radio discussions and people were angry and upset. They don't understand why he's appointed, even though we don't know if there's confirmation yet. That's what the Daily Guide is reporting, that the former Asante Kotoko head coach Siki Akono has been appointed coach of the Black Stars. That's Daily Guide Sports Understanding.
Interesting.
Right,
we are still waiting to hear the official statement on that, but it looks like the Daily Guide is onto something. I mean, we've been reporting that we are expecting the statement since yesterday.
And it was trending the whole of yesterday, particularly in the evening. It was dominating all the posts on Facebook, particularly.
So, I was happily talking about things which trend, and apparently the term trending is exclusive for Twitter.
No.
Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I must.
You didn't know
I
that.
didn't know
That's
that.
surprising. Yeah, but apparently, I mean.
So
apparently.
what happens if something is very popular on Facebook?
It's popular on Facebook, but it's trending on Twitter.
Interesting.
I mean, that's
but
what I thought.
speaking of this trending topic, though, I wonder if CK Akono can do the job. It's not like a question I'm raising, but it's a question that a lot of people have been raising on social media.
That's what I'm actually saying. I was listening to people, football tend to generate a lot of passion and anger, and people were frustrated. They do not think that. I think they've not even given the man a chance. They're just saying, well, Kwesi Appiah didn't do much for us. This won't happen. Except that all the foreign coaches we have brought to manage the Black Stars have themselves not delivered much.
Okay.
So it's not really the coaches. And the thing is, I mean, he was only assistant coach for about 2 months. So it's not as if we've actually seen what he's capable
and some
of.
actually point out that at the last Africa Player of the Year, not one Ghanaian was even shortlisted.
All right. Well,
and yet when the coach is appointed, we expect the coach to perform magic and do well at the Africa Cup of Nations or at the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, we need to move on now, but tweet at us with your response to this question. Can CK Akono do the job? Should we have gone or should we go for a foreign coach since it hasn't been confirmed yet? Can CK Akono do it? And should we go for a foreign coach? You can also text us 0244340437 0244340437. That's the WhatsApp number. George will have more details, but let's finish up the headlines.
Okay, so the Daily Statesman, and Malik, don't you love? I love how the current governments are able to coin things that stay with us. So 1D, 1F, 1 all of that. The latest one is 4 more to do more, and it's so catchy, isn't it? Kind of just stays with you. But that's the headline on the front page of the Daily Statesman. 4 more to do more. President Akufo-Addo says Ghana is on the path to prosperity. Nana Oforiatta Eyim joins Oxford University Council. Supreme Court throws out bid to review Ibrahim Mohammed's mining lease, and apology from the statesman. Bust MD not replaced.
For the sake of political balance anymore, we still love Noah Babase. This is for political balance.
Noah Babase.
Yeah, this is for balance.
Political correctness this morning.
Mokoya and Mokoaba. There's so many. Well, the Gold Street Business is also reporting government launches new efforts against petroleum diversion, begins use of new digital technology to curb $200 million in annual smuggling. 3-year treasury bond issuance opens today. Oh, that sounds like that would be good. Approval for SNIT pension reforms expected shortly.
Then my last paper is a daily graphic. And the daily graphic has virtually some of the stories that we have done. The prosecution of Amwabin and Inyinaku. Ghana Beyond Aid is attainable. As a president talking about all Ghanaians must put shoulders to the wheel so that this will be attained. The back page of the daily graphic, rice millers cry for financial support. US group donates computers to Liberty Avenue School. The story which is of interest to me on the front page of the daily graphic, which is also on the front page of quite a few other papers, is a 34 who perished in a gory accident yesterday. Now, Daniel, you know that when it comes to accidents and the attendant death, it's one thing that makes me wonder why we do these things to ourselves. Now, just look at these figures. In 2017, 2,076 people died through accidents. In 2018, that figure went up to 2,341. In 2019, the figure is even higher. Now, this is something which happens every year, and yet we, the people, have chosen not to do anything about this. All that is required is for us to pass sensible laws and to do the sensible thing, which is enforce those laws. All of the majority of these accidents happen because of head-on collisions. Head-on collisions occur because people are reckless. People are reckless because they are speeding. And yet we do absolutely nothing to deal with this problem, which has bedeviled us for many, many decades. How can any sensible country lose more than 2,000 people every year through something which is not act of God? These are not hurricanes. These are not rainstorms. These are not floods. These are accidents caused by human errors, and we do absolutely nothing. We have a National Road Safety Commission, which is now National Road Safety Authority. You have Motor Traffic and Transport Department. You have a Transport Ministry. All of these important institutions have not been able to do anything significant.
And the Roads and Highways Ministry,
absolutely,
under which operates the Ghana Highways Authority, Department of Urban Roads, and Department of Feeder Roads.
So you wonder, what is it that is required? And everybody knows that there is too much recklessness on our roads. Why we do nothing beats my mind.
So President Akufo-Addo consoled the families of the victims in Tuesday's deadly crash. And if you want to get more details of that, you can go on myjoyonline.com. Let me take this opportunity to just run through some of the headlines that we have on My Joy Online. 1D, 1F was an objective. We can't deliver it in the first term. Dr. Koto say interesting one day when he was speaking to Evans Mensah. It aired on PM Express last night. We've achieved a lot in 3 years. We need 4 more to do more. President Akufo-Addo speaking there. He's also consoling the families of the victims. Say no to discrimination against pregnant women in the workplace. It's becoming a campaign now, and we'll be answering a few questions related to that story here on the Super Morning Show. You want to stay with us? CityNewsroom.com has charge sheet. Nam1 fired gunshots to scare off angry customers at his residence. Interesting developments from that story. BBC.com. Democratic debate: Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren ramp up feud, and Sudan has clashes in Khartoum between army and mutineers. Richard Kojonyako is the one who was following this very accident for us in the central region, and he joins us on the line. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning, Daniel.
What's the latest regarding this accident?
Well, the latest is that the 54 people that were sent, that got injured, some had minor injuries, others had some critical injuries, so they were sent to the Accident and Emergency Center, the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital. So those with minor injuries yesterday, up to the evening, they were treated and discharged, but they are left with the people that were in critical condition, and doctors say that they are in a relatively stable condition. They are still working on them, and they are confident that they will pull through. And so that is the latest. Relatives have also been coming yesterday. From the morning, people that had the accident, they came to the Accident and Emergency Center of the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital. They went, there is a list you go through, you check whether you have your relatives in there. If you don't have, find your family member among the living, then you are headed to the mortuary where you go to find where your relative is. And so those who went there, we had a story of a woman who stays in Takoradi, who is a trader, who traveled to Accra to transact business. 5:30, she called home that she was stuck in the Kaswa traffic, and so she was headed back to Takoradi, only for them to hear the news that she was involved in the accident. And so the sister couldn't control herself. There was another woman who was also brandishing a phone with a picture of the sister, another sister. These two scenarios, both were Muslims, and they couldn't really control it. She said that she was not going to talk until the sister comes to speak with her. And there was this sad one about the 6-year-old who woke up from consciousness and was asking where the father and the mother was. And so they were trying to know whether the father and the mother or the parents were among the living or among the dead. And
were
so
they found?
We are hoping. No, as of yesterday in the evening, there were no answers to the questions she was posing. And so we are waiting for today whether the parent would be found among the living or among the dead. So they are still waiting for family members to get in touch with the hospital. The hospital has announced that people who have their family members travel along that stretch should come to the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital to identify whether their relatives are among the living or among the dead.
So this 6-year-old spends the night in the hospital?
Yes, that's so.
Well, Richard, we know the conversation doesn't limit just these 34 people who have died. I know that for that Jumpuase Junction in particular, about 10 years ago, there was a similar gruesome accident involving a passenger bus, and a number of people died.
Yes, that's true. It has a lot of history. I myself, as a journalist, have covered accidents around at that scene, at that very spot 6 times, and the worst was the 2008, where there was only a 1-year-old that was left in that accident. She was the only survivor. 42 people perished along that stretch. It was only about 2-3 years ago that we had a break, that if you heard of an accident between the Elmina Junction and the Commander Junction, you wouldn't hear that the accident actually happened on that spot. And then we were greeted with the news yesterday that same spot has produced this accident that had 34 people perishing. And so that spot, there is a sharp curve. And so when the drivers are negotiating that bend, I don't know what really happens. But Daniel, we could also extend the conversation on the Accra Cape Coast Takoradi stretch, where there are no street lights. Even the police barriers that have been that are erected, even during the night, you will run into them. Very dark. Any vehicle that is speeding could run over the police people that have had or that have the barrier over there. There are no street lights virtually. Anybody could.
And is that sportsman? Is that sportsman? That sharp curve at Dumpoise? Is there? Is there any police barrier? Is there anything there to keep the place safer?
No, there is nothing, and the community.
Wow.
So it is at the Dumpoise Junction. The community is there, and so that's their junction. After that junction, you drive to the Commander Junction, and so there is no settlement around that area.
Richard, thank you very much for bringing us that update. 6 accidents that he has reported in that area, and I remember that 2008 accident so vividly. 42 people. I actually went on that street the day after that accident. I saw the bus being pulled off. It was so similar to this one. The bus was almost unrecognizable.
It was shredded.
They were just pulling the chassis of the side of the way, and you ask yourself, what is this that they are pulling
So
off?
what kind of people are we that one location continues to kill people and we do absolutely nothing about it? One location, 42 people. Richard Koyenyaku, a fairly young man, has reported 6 accidents at the same place, and yet all of the institutions were listed: the National Road Safety Commission, the Transport Ministry, all of these agencies, the Motor Traffic and Transport Unit, then now Department of the Ghana Police Service. All of these institutions exist. We have people there, people who are paid. We have presidents, ministers, MPs, everybody, and yet this same location continues to claim so many lives. And look at us this morning, how pathetic we are as a people. This is not even the biggest news. 34 people died in one accident. 34. Imagine that this had happened in some other country. Imagine the number of resignation. Imagine the coverage, the anger, the frustration. And yet here, because we do not put premium on our own lives, we don't care. It's in obscure places, even in the newspapers.
Malik, look at the text console. Daniel, I lost an auntie in that accident. She came to Accra to purchase things to sell back at Takrade. The things have arrived, but she did not.
Can you just imagine? And imagine this small boy who just woke up and is wondering, where are the parents?
Before you finish, Malik, let me open the phone lines. 0244340437, 0302-216-541, 0302-216-541, 0244340437. How close have you been to a road accident? Were you in the car? Was it your family member? Did you witness it? Call us and share your experience. This morning, let's take the moment to try and recount the real cost that road accidents bring to us. And Malik, we're talking about this 6-year-old.
This 6-year-old boy who just woke up from coma and he's asking, where are the parents? His whole nation is going to let him down. And his whole nation will let other people down because we have done that to other families in the past. What kind of country is losing 2,000 people through accidents? And as I said, these accidents are not they are not natural disasters. It's not like some bushfire. It's not some hurricane. It's not some rainstorm. Accidents caused by people, first of all, who should not be licensed in the first place to drive, and yet who, when they are licensed, their licenses are not suspended when they misbehave.
Good morning, Daniel. Road accidents in Ghana are a composition of ineffective laws, bad road designs, bad road construction, bad driving, easy access to license, irresponsibility on the part of the MTTD. Just look at the video and you have attached the video of an accident at Medina. We'll put it on our Twitter so you can read it. This one is also coming in. Ask Malik how many of those road accidents deaths involve persons involving driving in V8 vehicles. Those who are supposed to solve our problems are always insulated from our problems. 0302-216-541. Nana is our first caller. He's on the line from North Kaneshi. Good morning, Nana.
Hi, Daniel. Good morning.
Good morning. Please turn off your radio. Tell us your accident experience. Okay, Nana is turning off his radio, after which we speak to him. But if you also ply that road, if you've ever used that road before, you can call us as well on 0302-216-541. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, Nana, it's better now. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Daniel. The over speeding on that road, it's something else. I'm very sad this morning because I myself have used that road countlessly, and you have drivers most of the time over speeding. Someone driving behind you, and you see he's trying to overtake you, even at places where he's not meant to do overtaking, especially in curves. And the Takoradi stretch is quite heavy. So this is happening, and one of the ways I think we can solve this is to have a double lane. As a country where we've come so far, we should have a double lane. We should be mindful of these things and be able to solve it. Thanks.
Nana, thank you very much for calling. John is on the line from Lashibi. Good morning, John.
Yeah, good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
I am blessed. How can you imagine that one spot will take 42 lives and in 10 years take another 34 lives?
If we are serious citizen people, those who are in charge must be kicked off. In fact, that same spot claiming lives, and we have people sitting down in the office who are either the road engineering at that place is very faulty, not either it is. Because and common sense, I believe those people who are in charge, their vehicles they are driving and they see some fault at the same vehicle, they will know that there's a fault over there. How do we sit down? Look at the hula baloo going by some people who will get job in terms of registration, new voter register. People are, look at human being lives lost. Human beings, not animals, not chickens for Christmas, but human beings lost.
Mothers and fathers, sisters, brothers, you can imagine. I mean, think about that 6-year-old. Thanks, John, for calling. Simon is on the line from Accra. Good morning, Simon.
Good morning, sir.
Simon, let's hear you.
Yes, it's so. I'm so sorry for the issue. Actually, it's so painful. Because you know what? On our road, sometimes we blame the road, but let me say, I will say that the highest cause of this thing is the people, the drivers, and how they get their license. I traveled on Kumasi Road one day, and I decided to study Kumasi Road to see the high cost of accidents on the Kumasi Road. And the things that I found, one, careless driving, as you said, people are overtaking when they know car is coming. In a case where they know they are not supposed to overtake, and they are doing overtaking. And then some drivers, when they see other cars overtaking them, that is when they also start speeding. And these are some of the things that are causing accidents on our road.
I can imagine. Thanks so much, Simon, for calling. John is on the line from Tema. Good morning, John.
Yes, sir.
John, this Dumpoase junction, which is taking lives left and right, I don't know.
Boss, what is happening in Ghana? They will blame, they will say this one over speeding. My suggestion, they should go and mount speed ramp there. Huge ones. The passengers cannot control their drivers. And there's another spot at Odumaseko, from Asesewa to Odumaseko Asite Junction. That place too is dangerous, taking so many lives. Please work on it for us.
Thank you very much, John. 0302216541. Good morning, Daniel. I'm Frank in Tema. I don't understand our leaders. How come the Takoradi Cape Coast Road is a single lane? We have leaders who do not think for the people. You can also send us yours on 0302216541. More ramps before and after the sharp curves. Lawrence Dablaka from Mataiko is the one saying this. I think we should put a lot of ramps before and after the sharp curves. The online news review is brought to you by Zenith Bank in your best interest in Goyle Good Energy. We're still taking your phone calls, 0302216541. The Efienife promo is still alive, and many like Ibrahim Lukman from Winchi, Benjamin Otri from Kaswa Iron City, and Abdul Karim Abubakar from Yendi have received 1,000 cedis, 500 cedis, and 300 cedis worth of fuel. Others are getting plenty instant rewards. So just drive into any Goyle station, buy 100 cedis worth of fuel or more, and for motorbikes, 30 cedis or more, get a scratch card, scratch it, and dial *161 *4645 hash. Follow the prompt or go into the App Store, download the Goyle promo app, sign up with your phone number, and receive a one-time activation code. Goyle Efienife promo. Terms and conditions apply. Goyle, your Hall of Fame petroleum company. Goyle Good Energy. Goyle Yenara Yedia. Now earn fantastic rewards on your purchases when you shop online or abroad with your Zenith Bank MasterCard. You heard right? Spend a minimum of 3,000 Ghana cedis using your Zenith MasterCard and be rewarded. The more you spend, the bigger your reward. Don't miss out. Promo ends on January 31, 2020. Visit any Zenith Bank branch and sign up today for your Zenith MasterCard. It's free. Zenith Bank in your best interest. Now, we were unable to bring you the BBC News at 7. We apologize for doing that, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.